So this is what we did yesterday. So this is the thumbnail which I have put in my yesterday's video, which I have uploaded to my YouTube channel. That is understanding forward bias and reverse bias correctly. And under that we had case number 1, where we told that the anode can be connected to positive potential and the diode or SCR can be either forward or reverse biased. In case number 2, we stated that the anode of diode or SCR can be connected to negative potential, but still the devices can be reverse or forward biased. And we had told that the basic principle of forward or reverse biasing is that if the potential difference between the anode and cathode terminals, denoted as VAK, if it is greater than, it is positive and it is greater than the cut-in voltage of the device, then we say that it is forward bias. So we can have all combinations. So we can have anode connected to negative, and if the cathode is at a larger negative potential and if the VAK is greater than cut-in voltage, then it is still forward biased. Getting me? But if the anode is at negative and cathode is at positive, naturally it is going to be reverse biased. So similarly, I can have anode connected to positive potential, but if the cathode is at a larger positive potential than the anode, then the device will still be reverse biased. So we had taken 5 examples of SCR and diode to prove the above two statements. Then we also understood what is the meaning of having a positive and negative average content in a waveform. It can be either average content in load voltage waveform or average content in load current waveform. And we had told about 2 myths, myth 1 and myth 2. So myth 1 was telling that positive VLAVG means that the signal does not go below x-axis. And myth number 2 was that if the VLAVG is negative, that means the waveform is only below x-axis and does not go above x-axis. So we had refuted these myths by presenting 2 facts, that a signal can go below x-axis, but if the resultant of the signal over one cycle of the waveform, that is 0 to 2 pi, if it is positive, then we say that the average content is positive. Similarly, the fact 2 was that it is very much possible that the waveform, it goes above x-axis, but still the average content can be negative if the resultant over one cycle of the output is actually negative. And we had given about 3 examples from converters as well as AC voltage controllers. So we can get convinced about our fact number 1 and 2. What I thought is that how nice it would be if I demonstrate making a half wave uncontrolled and a half wave controlled rectifier, and actually demonstrating to you that, see, the load voltage is going below x-axis but still the VLA which is positive. And we can also similarly show that yes, the waveform is going above x-axis but still the VLA which is negative. Okay, that is why in today's agenda I have put the following points, that is MATLAB Simulink modeling to demonstrate fact 1 and 2 using both half wave uncontrolled rectifier and half wave controlled rectifier. And the second thing which we want to discuss is the concept of half controlled and fully controlled outputs, that is HC and FC. So first we will define what is half controlled output and fully controlled outputs, and then we will explain the above two by actually analyzing the circuit of an uncontrolled rectifier half wave while it is driving an RL load. Okay, so over to MATLAB now. So here we will open Simulink. File, new model. first and foremost, what I will do is I will save this, and I will save this particular Simulink model with the name HWUCR. So file, save as on the desktop, HWUCR. Okay, so it is half wave uncontrolled rectifier. That means I have to use one diode between an AC source and the load. So we'll start putting all the required components. SimPower Systems. Go here and put the power GUI block. Then we can put electrical sources. Put an AC source here. Go to power electronics. Put a diode here. Go to elements. Put a series RLC branch here. We want to measure the voltage. So we can put a voltmeter here. We want to measure the average value. So we have to go to extra library, discrete measurements, go to discrete mean value. We have to put a scope for observing waveforms. So go to Simulink, sinks, put a scope here, also put a display here. And we will not use a multiplexer because we don't need to display the current. Okay, maximize the model and start connecting. We can select the RLC branch and say Control R. It will get rotated. We don't want an RLC. We will first use it for R. R, and let the resistance be 100 ohms. Scope here. Keep saving the model. Display. The output of voltmeter connected to the average calculator. Output of mean calculator connected to display. Let us set the potentials now. Let us operate this at 230 volt RMS, that is 326 volts peak. Let the frequency be 50 Hertz. Click OK. Double click the mean value. Configure it for 50 Hertz. And students, now the input is a 230 volt RMS and it's a half wave rectifier. So we know that for a half wave rectifier system, VLAVG is simply equal to Vm upon pi. So Vm is 326 divided by 3.14. So it's approximately 103.82. In fact, if we do 22 by 7 and you divide it by 326, we take a reciprocal, we get 103.73. So for a half wave rectifier driven by 230 volts RMS, we get the VLA which is 103.73. 103.73 volts. Let us see what our simulation is giving. Here, let us simulate for 3 cycles. We can see here the VLAVG is coming as 103.4. So let us see what are the waveforms. Okay, fine. So let me make the scope as 2 channel. Number of axis 2, all apply here, delete this. Amplitude 326, frequency, angular frequency is 2 pi f, 314 radians per second. See here, this is a half wave rectifier like that. Now basically what we want to prove is this, that now the VLAVG shown in the display is plus 103.4 volts. I want to now prove that if the load voltage waveform goes below x-axis, still the VLAVG will remain positive. Okay, so what do we do is that we add a small amount of inductance in the load side. Fine. So I will double click this. I will say RL, and then I will say let me keep the inductance as 5, or I can say 10 millihenries. Okay. So now I added a 10 millihenry inductance on the load side. I will say okay. Now students, see, before I run the simulation and we get a new value in display, let us remind ourselves of this concept that the average content of any periodic signal is an algebraic sum of the area above x-axis and below x-axis. I repeat that the average content of any periodic waveform is the algebraic sum of area above and below x-axis. So as the area of the signal below x-axis goes on increasing, that much amount will get subtracted from the area above x-axis. So the more we have negative portions in the negative half cycle, so as the area of the signal below x-axis goes on increasing, the value of VLAVG will go on decreasing. Okay, so as the area of the signal below x-axis goes on increasing, the average content will go on reducing. So what we will do is that now we have added a 10 millihenry inductance. After simulation, I should see that the value has gone little bit below 103.4, and if I continue increasing the value of inductance, I should get lesser and lesser values. Okay, so I'll just simulate and see it has become 103.3. Let us see if we are getting negative portions in the output. You see here, little bit negative it's coming. Okay, it's very slow because the inductance is too small. I will go and increase inductance now. So let me make it 50 millihenry. Apply 102.8. That means what? Negative portion has increased. You see here, what I will do now, a negative portion will go on increasing. So we have to change the scale of the display. So I will go here. I will say access properties, and I will say the lower limit, let it be minus 100, and let the upper limit be 400 because my peak is 326. You see here. Now see the negative portion. For this negative portion, the value has reduced from 103.7 to 102.8. Go on increasing the value now. Okay, make it 100, double, enter. See 101.1. Let us see the waveform. You see here, fine. Now let me increase it to 500 millihenries. Apply, okay, save, simulate. 77.5. That's a drastic reduction now. Okay, we are seeing here that as and when the inductance is going on increasing, the negative portion is increasing. So as the area of the periodic signal below x-axis goes on increasing, the average content is reducing. So in all this waveform we are seeing, so we are now demonstrating the fact that a periodic signal can go below x-axis, but still the average content will remain positive. How? As long as in the display I get any value greater than 0, I am actually demonstrating the fact that a signal can go below x-axis, but still its average content can be positive. Is it okay? So this is a demonstration of fact number 1. Now let us go to demonstrate the second fact, that is the waveform can be above x-axis, but still the average content can be negative. So what do we do for this is that we will reverse the direction of the diode. Okay, so I will save, I will delete this. Yeah, so it has got hang, but it will take some time. Yeah, let us see if it works here. So I have reversed the direction of diode, so it will remain forward biased in the negative half cycle. Okay, so first to demonstrate how it will pass only the negative half cycle, we will change the load from resistive to from RL load to R, and we will observe the waveform. And students, now the diode is connected in such a way that it will remain RB in PHC and remain FB in NHC. That means what? At the output I should get minus 103.7 volts when I simulate. Okay, simulate. We are seeing minus 103.4. Let us see the load voltage waveforms, and we can see here clearly that it is a half wave rectifier, but it is passing on negative half cycle. Now we want to justify that in this waveform, if the waveform goes above x-axis, still the VLAVG is negative. So what I do is that I will add an inductance to the load side as before. So I will say RL and I will say 50. Okay, apply, okay, save, simulate. We see here it has become little higher. It is being minus 102.8. Let us see the load voltage waveforms. Here, are you seeing there is a slight portion which is going above x-axis? Okay, so our x-axis, that means it's 0, right? So what I will do to appreciate, I will reduce the lower limits here and I will make it minus 400 and make it plus 300. Okay, apply. Okay, so as and when the waveform above x-axis goes on increasing, the voltage will still remain negative, but it will go towards 0. It will become more and more positive. Go here, make it 200 4 times, apply, okay, simulate, minus 95.62. See the waveform? The waveform has now gone more above x-axis. So as and when the area above x-axis goes on increasing, that much will get added to the negative portion. The VLAVG will continue to become more positive, but it will still remain negative. So all these examples are demonstrating that a periodic waveform can go above x-axis, but still it will have a negative average value. Okay, let us make it 500. Apply, okay, minus 77.45. See the waveforms now. Here we are seeing that's going on and increasing. These were examples from the category of half wave uncontrolled rectifier. Let us now take examples from half wave controlled rectifier. Okay, so let us consider half wave controlled rectifier. So for half wave controlled rectifier, the VLAVG is given as Vm upon 2 pi into 1 plus cos alpha. for firing angle equal to 30 degrees, we have Vm is 326 upon pi into 1 plus cos 30, which comes out to be 193.64. So it comes out to be 193.64 volts. Let us make a half wave control rectifier, keep the firing angle as 30 degrees, and then we will go on to prove our facts 1 and 2 again for that system. So we will say file, new model, maximize it, file, save as, rename it as HWCR, say save. Okay. Now again we need a Simulink browser. SCR, pulse generator, sinks, you have a display, you have a scope, so amplitude is 5, period is 20 milliseconds, pulse width 50%, and 1.67, I think so. 30 divided by 360, 1.67. Fine. Yeah, it has to be 1.67 E minus 3 milliseconds. 96.6 we are getting. So yes, what I did was wrong. Nobody pointed me out. So it's upon 2 pi. So 1 plus cos 30 into 326, 96.82. So 96.82 versus 96.6. Let us see what is the load voltage waveform. And we can again do this. Yeah. So firing is 30 degrees and we are getting the output like this. Now we will add inductance. Double click RL. We can see here there is a slight negative portion here, and we'll go on increasing it and we will see that how the VLAVG goes falling below 96.59. Make it 20. It's increasing. You're saying? Okay, this is control rectification here. Go on increasing still. 500. 71.19. Scope waveforms, we are seeing how it's increasing. Okay, let us reverse the case now. Save this. Yeah, it will get hung now, no problem. Now the SCR is connected in such a way it will remain RB in PHC and it will be remain FB in NHC. So I have to give a firing angle as 180 plus 30. So here now we have alpha equal to alpha 1 equal to 30 degrees plus pi equal to 210 degrees. So 210 upon into 20 milliseconds. 11.67. So let us see for R load apply, and in this condition when I reverse, then now what is expected is I get minus 96.82 volts. Minus 96.6. Let us see the waveform now. Exactly opposite. Let us change the limits. So we have to make it minus 582 plus 500. Fine. Okay. So because the waveform exists only below x-axis, the VLH is negative and it is minus 696. Now we will prove that if we try to add portions of the waveform above x-axis, we will see that the voltage will go on becoming more and more positive but still remain negative. So go on adding inductances here. RL. Delete. Minus 96.03. Insignificant change, but we can see here some waveform portion is going below above x-axis. Sorry. Go on increasing. Make it 100. It's now minus 96.03 minus 94.33. It's becoming more and more positive. You see here the portions above x-axis are increasing. Go on increasing it. Make it 200. Minus 88.88. Minus 71.19. Okay. It 1. So either if you write 1000 millihenry, same thing, minus 51.32. Anyone write 1 also here. So 1000 millihenry is nothing but 1. Same effect we are getting. Okay. So through MATLAB also we have proved that a waveform can have a negative average content even if the waveform is going above x-axis. Similarly, we proved that a waveform can have a positive average content even if it is going below x-axis. So we don't need any more proofs than this. Clear? Yeah. Okay, so now consider this half wave uncontrolled rectifier with RL load, and Let us make it 100. Simulate, make it 101.1. Let us see the waveforms. It's there, right? So now we will define what is half controlled and fully controlled depending upon this waveforms. Okay. So now concept of half controlled and fully controlled. So let us verbally define and then I will demonstrate using Simulink again. Students, don't get confused because you have been hearing the words half and full, right? So half wave, full wave are different things, and half controlled and fully controlled are two different things. Okay, let me make a point here. Okay, so half used in half wave rectifier is not same as the half used in half controlled output. Second point is similar. The full used in full wave rectifier is not the same as full used in fully controlled output. Okay, students, if you remember, we had discussed the concept of LHC and ILHC, that is legal half cycle and illegal half cycle. And what is the definition of legal half cycle? Legal half cycle means it is that half cycle during which the controllable device, that is diode or SCR, they remain forward biased. An illegal half cycle is that half cycle of the input during which the controllable device, that is diode or SCR, remain reverse biased. So the half cycle in which there is forward biasing, it is called as legal half cycle. And I told you that which of the two half cycles, PHC or NHC, is the LHC will depend upon how the diode is connected. So if the diode or SCR are connected in such a way that the device remains FB from 0 to pi, then PHC is called as a legal half cycle for that device. If I reverse the orientation of the device, and then if during the interval pi to 2 pi, if the device remains forward biased, then I say that the NHC is the LHC and vice versa. Okay, so here we take basis of the concepts of LHC and ILHC, right? So students, one thing important is this, that definition of half controlled output. Okay, yeah. So if the load voltage, that is VL waveform, does not extend into the illegal half cycle, the output is called as half controlled. Okay, understand this definition very carefully. Okay, if the load voltage waveform does not extend into the illegal half cycle, then the output is called as half controlled. Okay, similarly we have the definition of fully controlled output. If the load voltage waveform extends into the illegal half cycle, output is called as fully controlled. Okay, so if the VL waveform extends into the illegal half cycle, the output is called as fully controlled, right? So half control means HC, fully control means FC. Okay, so now it is very clear. So can somebody tell me how can I convert a half control output into a fully control output, in the sense for which kind of load I will get a half control output and for which kind of load I'll get a fully controlled output? Yes. Okay. So now I will show you the simulations and you will tell me whether the output is fully controlled or half controlled. Okay. Let us simulate this. Yeah, students, tell me that load voltage waveform is in front of you. Can you tell me that this kind of a load voltage waveform, is it half controlled or fully controlled? Yes.
Fully controlled.
Fully controlled. So can you tell me in this particular circuit which is there in front of us, which is the LHC for this diode? Legal half cycle, PHC or NHC? Yes. So which is the legal half cycle for diode in this circuit? Is it the positive or negative half cycle? Pardon?
Positive.
Positive. So in this particular circuit arrangement, during the positive half cycle, the diode will remain FB. So if in this circuit the load voltage waveform, it extends beyond the positive half cycle into the negative half cycle, the output will be called as fully controlled. That is what we are seeing here. So we see here that the load voltage waveform, it is extending beyond pi for some time beyond the negative half cycle, positive half cycle, right? So in this particular waveform, the load voltage is not becoming flat at omega t equal to pi, but it is extending beyond pi into the negative half cycle. So it is called as fully controlled. So this particular circuit can be called as half wave fully controlled, that is HWFC circuit. Now if I change the load from resistive inductive to resistive, we can see here clearly that here the waveform is like this. We see here that load voltage waveform, it does not extend into the illegal half cycle, that is negative half cycle. So here, because the load voltage waveform does not extend into the negative half cycle, which is the illegal half cycle, this kind of output is called as half control. So now the circuit becomes half wave half control. It's an HWHC circuit. Double click this, make it RL again, apply, OK, simulate, observe the waveforms. This is an example of a half wave fully controlled because the load voltage waveform is extending into the negative half cycle. The same thing can be defined even for a half wave controlled rectifier. simulated, and we can see here a reverse example. Okay, so this is which kind of waveform? Is it a half control or fully controlled waveform?
Half control.
Half control, correct understanding. We see here, so in this particular circuit arrangement, during the positive half cycle, the SCR will remain RB. So PHC is the ILHC, that is illegal half cycle, and during the negative half cycle, the SCR will remain forward bias. So here in this circuit, the PHC is ILHC and NHC is the LHC. So here in this particular circuit, if the load voltage waveform extends into the positive half cycle, it is called as fully controlled. And if it does not extend into the positive half cycle, but it starts at the beginning of negative half cycle and it ends at the end of negative half cycle, it is called as half controlled. So we are seeing here in this particular simulation, we see here that the output, it begins at pi plus alpha, it ends at 2 pi, and from 2 pi to 2 pi plus alpha to 2 pi to 3 pi plus alpha, there is nothing, right? So we see here that this is 0, this is pi plus alpha, 2 pi, 3 pi, 3 pi plus alpha, 4 pi, 5 pi, 5 pi plus alpha, and 6 pi. We have simulated for 3 cycles. So we are seeing here that from 0 to pi plus alpha, the SCR is remaining. So from 0 to pi, it is remaining RB. So the load voltage is 0. So at pi, it is becoming forward bias, but because firing pulse is not applied at pi, that is why SCR cannot start conducting. So going little beyond that, at pi plus alpha, the SCR receives a firing pulse, it starts conducting, and it transfers the negative half cycle, whatever is remaining, from 210 degrees to 360 degrees to the load. So we have a pulse, we have a negative pulse from 210 degrees, that is pi plus alpha, to 360 degrees. So at 2 pi, again positive half cycle starts. So at the beginning of positive half cycle, because it is the illegal half cycle for the SCR, at 2 pi, SCR remains RB. So from 2 pi to 3 pi, SCR remains reverse biased. At 3 pi, the SCR becomes forward biased, but because it is not having the firing pulse, it will not start conducting. So at 3 pi plus alpha, it receives a firing pulse, it starts conducting, it transfers the negative half cycle to the load, and we have a negative pulse, and this continues forever. So in this waveform, the positive half cycle is the illegal half cycle. The waveform is not extending into the illegal half cycle. So this waveform is again an example of half controlled output. So don't think that half control means it can only be below or above x axis. No, it can be anywhere. Extension of the load voltage waveform into the illegal half cycle makes that circuit into fully controlled. Okay, now again an example of fully controlled here. Double click, make it RL and reduce it to 100. Simulated here. Okay, so here this is an example of fully controlled. So this is again a half wave fully controlled circuit, right? So now things are very clear. Nothing more than this is expected now. Yes. So the fifth point here is thus we can have the following combinations. So depending on the number of pulses in output, we have two categories: half wave and full wave. And depending upon the extension in illegal half cycle, we have 2. And we have fully controlled, right? So half wave, full wave, half controlled, fully controlled, right? So we can have the following 4 combinations. Can have A, half wave, half controlled, half wave, fully controlled. We can have full wave, half controlled. We can have full wave, fully controlled. Okay, and these 2 can again have 2 more flavors. If it is a diode based, then we can have half wave, half controlled, uncontrolled rectifier, half wave, fully controlled, uncontrolled rectifier, full wave, half controlled, uncontrolled rectifier, full wave, fully controlled, uncontrolled rectifier. Okay, so forgot to make a note that half control outputs are obtained for purely resistive load, and fully controlled outputs are obtained for RL loads only. Okay. Yeah. So now this is actually not covered. It will be covered in today's 3 to 4 p.m. That is analyzing half wave uncontrolled rectifiers with RL load.